There is a secret work routine that literally allows you to balance every single priority in your life. I'm talking a gym, I'm talking business, I'm talking studying at the same time. And not only does this system allow you to literally balance every single one, but it allows you to see so much more progress than you're currently seeing in every single category. Because the thing is, you don't need a complex Google Calendar or a Notion template that is going to skyrocket your productivity. And what I'm about to show you has not only just worked for every single person I've suggested it to, but it's literally took me from working for 8 to 10 hours every single day to working for 4 to 6 and still getting way more results in every single area that I'm working on. And in this video I'm going to show you this exact system, and I'm not going to hide anything from you. I'm just going to show you exactly how to be productive, and especially if you are this ambitious person but always struggles with laziness. But just before I go over the system, I just want to tell you a quick story, because this is what I like to understand it so much easier. Okay, you see, it's around like December 2022 and I'm in the garage gym. I've just come back from school and I've literally not even spoke to my parents. I've just rushed straight in the garage because just in an hour's time I literally have like 5 business calls that I have to go on. I was literally just skipping exercises in the gym because I needed to get on these calls, and you know, I didn't have time to just dilly-dally and just like randomly, you know, pick up weights. And I remember as soon as I finished the gym I just rushed out. You know, I didn't even bother closing the door. I just rushed to my room because the call literally started in like 2 minutes. So I went upstairs super sweaty, you know, going on these calls, and I swear one of the people that actually got on the calls with literally said, "Why are you so sweaty?" So I keep on going on these calls, giving advice to these fitness clients, right, these fitness coaches, so they can make more money. And I finally finished the 5th call, and do you know what time it was? It wasn't, you know, 7 PM or anything, it was actually midnight. I literally spent the last 5 hours on these calls with these people, even though they're only meant to take like 30 minutes. And to make matters worse, I literally had a piece of homework due the next day. And I guarantee if you have a business as well, you can probably relate to that. Like, you know, you're trying to balance school, the gym, and you just can't. You just find it so difficult. And this cycle just kept on repeating. Like, I'd have these business calls, I would have these random calls with people, like my friends, and I would not have any time to study. And so as a result, my grades went literally from A, B, literally to C, D's, over the span of a few weeks. And if you're one of these people that have super high ambitions, you know, you want to achieve like a 10k per month business, or you want to get A star in every single test, but you just find yourself being super lazy all the time, then this video is going to save your life. Because everything that I've implemented myself, I'm going to teach you in this video. Because I guarantee right now, if you do fix your productivity, everything else just propels. It's like a snowball effect. As soon as you fix your productivity, it all just comes rolling down. You start to see results in your business, you start to see, you know, grades improving. And really, this is because your productivity is your only constraint, for most people at least. So I'm not going to waste any more of your time, I'm just going to get straight into the video. If you've ever read a self-help book, you know, any business book like Millionaire Fastlane, right? They all start with one particular chapter, and it's always the mindset. But why do they always start with this? Well, it's simply because the mindset is the most important part about anything. And you know, it's the unsexy answer most people don't want to hear. You know, they're expecting like the business funnel that's going to save their life, or you know, the studying tactics that's instantly going to get them A-star grades. But really, it's the mindset, it's the way you view things. And if you want to get rid of this lazy part of yourself and, you know, actually be productive, then you need to do this first part of the video. You see, I'll tell you what happens when you go to work, or you go to work on your business, you go to study, right? You experience some kind of negative feeling. You feel like the work is super hard, or maybe that video game has come out so you want to play that instead. And when you feel this feeling inside of your brain, you instantly just get like a neuron activation, and you stop what you're doing and go and do whatever you wanted to do. And after you've done the thing, you say to yourself, why didn't I study? You know, and you start to feel guilty. And this is the biggest mistake most people make. You see, a feeling is just a response to the action. Every single action you do has a feeling associated with it, an emotion. Let's just say I force you to go to a Muay Thai training camp, right? Like, you know, no experience, you have to go, otherwise you're just gonna get shot dead. I don't know why, but just roll with it, okay? So naturally you start to feel bad, you start to feel really scared, because if you know anything about Muay Thai, you know how crazy those people are, you know, they literally kick metal poles just to condition their shins. You are probably going to do every single thing to get out of that situation. You're going to think of the video game, you're going to think of, you know, oh, let's go and get some food instead, right? But the thing is, imagine if you did go to the Muay Thai camp. Imagine if you did actually train hard. Imagine how much growth you would experience. And the point I'm trying to drill into your head here is, you never should listen to your feelings. Because what you need to do and what will benefit you is usually what feels terrible. Because that's where growth is made. You don't get growth, you don't actually level up in life by chasing comfort. You don't level up by, you know, playing that new video game. All you do is waste time. All you do is devolve yourself into this older, lazy person. You reinforce that lazy identity inside of your brain. And the only way I've been able to get out of this lazy person, you know, this lazy identity, identity, and balance all of these things at once: the business, the studying, the gym, is by chasing what feels painful. When I was doing my old business model, which was copywriting, I literally asked myself, right, what is the hardest thing? What is the most painful thing I can think of to do? And for me, it was outreach. I would send these like quick videos to potential clients on Instagram, these fitness coaches, and I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do that for 5 hours every single day. But I knew as soon as that feeling came up in my mind that I had to chase this thing. I had to do outreach for 5-6 hours every single day. But compare that if I'd literally just follow my feelings, outreach is hard, let's just do 10. Let's not do 100 like we said, let's just do 10. Of course I wouldn't have seen results. Of course I wouldn't have, got my first client. And you can apply this to anything in your life, like studying, like going to the gym. Like there's a term in the gym which basically says your set starts as soon as your muscles start to give up. That's when the set really starts, right? Because that's when you're going to make and grow the most muscle. So the point is, you need to just ignore all your feelings. There's so much weird stuff online nowadays that just tells you, chase your feelings, if it's too hard, don't do it, or prescribe these random hacks that are gonna make you super productive. But really, half of the work is literally just you sitting down and working. And I said this in one of my older videos, but if you literally just look at the tasks you're doing in your day with no thoughts or feelings, just like from a third party perspective, you would see the tasks are super easy. They're not hard. All studying is just looking at flashcards, like using your brain to read, or doing a past paper, using your brain. It's not hard, and all you have to do is literally just go against what your brain is saying. And I'm not trying to make this into like one of those motivational videos, but I need you to understand the mindset about things is the most important part, especially when you actually want to be productive. You need to cut out all of the random garbage that you don't need and ignore all your feelings, because they will not serve you. Those thoughts and your feelings are literally just the lazy identity trying to cause you to not grow. That's all it is. And I know you probably don't want to hear someone yap on about the mindset part of things like for the millionth time you've heard, but this is the most important part, and it's the reason why at every single start of every single book, especially in business books, they always start with the mindset. So now I'm going to be able to the next part of the video, which is actually going to be super applicable to you, and you're going to be able to change your productivity and really improve your grades. You've probably already heard of all of the productivity advice from me. You've heard, the studying advice from other YouTubers saying, use flashcards, do mind maps. But one of the biggest mistakes I made myself that literally caused me to not improve my grades, and literally is the only problem that most people face when they're trying to improve their grades, is simply applying the knowledge they learn. Because I guarantee this is what happens to you. You make all this revision material, the highlighted text, the highlighted mind maps, the notes. But as soon as you actually go to memorize the information, it just goes in one ear and goes out the other ear. And the reason why this happens is because you don't actually apply the knowledge you're learning. To actually switch the information you learn from your short-term memory to your long-term memory, you need to constantly apply the information you're learning. And this is why things like past papers, actually going over exam questions work so well. It's because you associate the questions that probably will come up on the exam you're doing to the answers to like the things you memorized, right? So ask yourself, how can you apply the information? Will you do past papers? Will you make like these little exam questions to actually help you memorize the information? Because this really helped me, and it's the one thing that really improved my grades. There's another popular studying term called spaced repetition, where you basically space out the time you intake the information and you slowly reduce it. And the reason why this works so well is because it quickly gets the information from your short-term memory into your long-term memory. And there's a software I use quite frequently called Remnote, where you can make these flashcards and they take like 5 seconds to make, and you can do the spaced repetition. So I really recommend checking it out. And this is like the 20% of the work which will give you 80% of the results. If you simply do these two things, applying the information and spaced repetition, you will improve your grades. Because this is what the top students are doing. They're not wasting time making notes, these physical flashcards. What they're doing is prioritizing their time to actually turn the information from their short-term memory into their long-term memory. So now I'm going to move on to actually productivity advice that allows you to get rid of this lazy version of yourself, and it allows you to, have this ambition but also work super hard on the things you actually want to achieve. One of the most powerful productivity tools or hacks there is out there is something called Eat the Frog. And I'm not talking about eating a frog like that's going to give you super focus or something. It's something much more simple. What I want you to do is just imagine there's a plate of food in front of you. You've got a steak, you've got the random desserts there, but you've just got a random frog on the plate. What would you rather do? Would you rather eat the disgusting food, the frog, first and get it over with so you can enjoy the other food? Or would you rather enjoy the food first and eat the frog last and have a terrible taste in your mouth after? Most people, when they answer this question, will always say eat the frog. And this is exactly what we want want to do with our work. Because if we get the biggest task, the hardest task done as soon as we wake up, the entire day is much more enjoyable. The entire day is much more easy to do. And this is a lesson I've really implemented in my own life. You know, I used to just try and cram the studying, the business work, the gym after school when I was so fatigued, you know, my focus was terrible. But what really moved the needle for me was doing the hardest task, which was my business work, as soon as I woke up before school. Because as soon as I came back from school, I wasn't, you know, tired, I wasn't fatigued, and I didn't have to do these calls. I could do the calls when I woke up and instead focus on studying after. I wouldn't have to worry about my business work, right? And the reason why this works so well is because when you wake up, you have the most energy, and this means you can dedicate all your energy to the most important and hard task in the day, which is, you know, maybe your business, maybe studying. So this is going to be a quick actionable step for you. I just want you to write down or think in your head, what is the most important task? What is the hardest task in your day? Maybe it's your business, maybe it's studying. And I want you literally just to try tomorrow. No excuses. Literally wake up and just do your work. If you have to go to bed 3 hours earlier, do it, because trust me, if you do this once, you will see what I mean. You will see, you know, how productive you actually are. If you label yourself as lazy, this is the only thing you need to do. And this is by far the best productivity hack I've ever known. And just to finish the video, I'm going to talk about how to actually build the habit of studying up or working on your business, okay? You see, a mistake most people make when they're on self-improvement, when they're trying to improve their life, right, is they start with such intensity, it's impossible to keep up. Like, they go from 0 to David Goggins overnight. You know, they wake up at 4 AM, they go to the gym, they work on your business. But the thing is, your brain is not used to that. And this is why it's so hard to stay consistent nowadays. It's because everyone doesn't want to start small. In the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, it's basically a book about how to actually build habits and break bad habits in your life. And one of the things James says is it takes around 28 days to build a habit. Because what happens is when you keep on doing something over and over again, ideally at the same time every single day, it starts to become part of your routine, your comfort zone. And that's when it becomes a habit. And this is what we want to do with studying. Like, I remember when I first started studying like super hard, right? Before, I used to only study for like 30 minutes a day or 1 hour a day. And when I got to like 4 hours, and the only reason I got to that point was because I allowed myself to slowly level up the intensity I'm doing it at. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to link a habit tracker below in the description or the pinned comment. You probably find it in one of these. And this will allow you to build the habit over this 28-day period or this month period. So then you can start to focus on intensity. Because one of the biggest mistakes I made was focusing on intensity first, and I couldn't stay consistent with it. And this is basically the entire system I use to really improve my productivity and allow myself to get out of this lazy version of me and fuel my ambition into my work and see great results in my business, in school and stuff like that. But just before I end the video, I just want to say, if you want to become insanely productive and you want to, you know, really improve your grades with less studying, or maybe you want to really make more money in your business with less work by becoming a productive machine just like I have in my own life, click the first link in the description to join my free community where you get a free 30-minute coaching call with me and a ton of free resources. Okay, so goodbye, have a nice day. I hope you enjoyed this video. You're gonna get Owen in the face again. Goodbye. Whoa.